Welcome to the deep dive. So, forget endlessly scrolling Pinterest, right?
Right.
Today we've got the actual inside scoop on what real brides were wearing in 2024.
Yeah, we're looking at data from Darianna Bridal Tuxedo there in Pennsylvania.
And they actually tracked every single wedding dress they sold last year. That's fascinating.
It really is. And this isn't just, guessing at trends. It's hard numbers.
Mm.
They look at everything, silhouette, sparkle, necklines, the works, to really get what brides wanted.
Okay.
But for this deep dive, we're really zeroing in on the silhouette, the basic shape of the dress.
Gotcha. So the foundation. Whether you're planning a wedding, helping someone out, or just, curious about bridal fashion.
This is for you.
We're going to unpack the top styles of 2024 straight from the people selling them. Okay, let's jump in.
So the first thing that really stands out is, well, one silhouette just dominates.
Oh, yeah. Which one?
The A-line, still the clear favorite.
Yeah.
Darianna Bridal's numbers show 37% of their brides in 2024 went for an A-line.
Wow, 37%. That's a huge chunk.
It really is a commanding lead.
Okay, so A-line. For anyone picturing a simple triangle, what does that really mean in a wedding dress context?
It's typically fitted up top through the bust and the waist,
Hmm?
and then the skirt just flows out from there, gently flares into that A shape.
Right. So you get that kind of romantic full skirt feel, but maybe not quite as dramatic or voluminous as a full ball gown.
Exactly. It's like a softer version. It hits that sweet spot for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And a big reason it's so consistently popular, it just tends to look good on almost everyone. Darianna Bridal really emphasized how universally flattering it is.
That makes total sense. It defines the waist but isn't too clingy elsewhere. And they mentioned different waistlines too, right? Like natural, basque.
Yes, natural, basque, dropped, waist.
Mm-hmm.
Those variations give you even more ways to tailor the look within that A-line shape.
Ah, okay. So where the skirt starts to flare can change the whole vibe.
Precisely.
Yeah.
It affects the proportions. And they even gave us some specific examples that were flying off their racks in 2024.
Oh, cool. Like what?
Let's see. The Madi Lane Jaya, they said that one was really whimsical.
Okay.
Then for a more minimalist feel, the Essence of Australia, D3794, and the Kitty Chin Flora.
Interesting. So even within the most popular silhouette, there's still a lot of variety in style.
Absolutely. From simple to more detailed. Okay, so moving on from the reigning champ,
The winner-up.
the fit and flare, or as some call it, the trumpet style.
Right, fit and flare or trumpet. Okay. How popular was that one?
That came in at 21% of their brides last year. Still a very significant number.
Definitely. So what defines this shape? How's it different from A-line?
Well, this one is more about showing off curves. It's fitted through the bust, waist, and the hips.
Okay, so more body hugging.
Yes. And then it flares out, usually around the mid-thigh area.
Yeah.
It's less dramatic than, say, a mermaid cut.
Got it. So it gives you shape, highlights the figure, but maybe offers a bit more ease of movement than a really restrictive mermaid.
You've got it. It's that kind of happy medium for brides wanting curve definition without going full-on mermaid.
Mm-hmm. And fabric must make a big difference here, too.
Oh, huge. You mentioned seeing it in everything: sleek satin, soft crepe, intricate lace. Each gives a totally different vibe.
Right. And I think they mentioned something about boning.
Yeah, good point. Many fit and flares have boning built into the bodice.
Ah.
That internal structure really helps give support and kind of cinch things in, enhancing that hourglass look they mentioned.
So it's not just the cut, it's the construction, too. Did they share any popular examples for this one?
They did. The Sophia Tolly-Millie was one. Sounds like it has a really detailed bodice, but then a smoother crepe skirt.
Nice contrast.
Yeah. And the Kitty Chin Wiley, apparently that's a lace halter neck with this cool illusion button detail up the back.
Oh, that sounds gorgeous. Okay, so A-line leads, fit and flare is a strong second. What came next? Was there anything surprising?
Actually, yes. This was quite interesting. The ball gown saw a pretty significant jump.
Really? The big fairy tale dress?
Exactly. At Darianna Bridal, it went from 14% of sales in 2023 up to 20% in 2024.
Wow, that's quite a leap in just 1 year. Any ideas why?
They had a few thoughts. One was maybe the Bridgerton effect. That resurgence of romantic, almost historical drama in style.
Ah, okay. I can see that. More formal, more grand.
Yeah. And they also mentioned seeing more drop waists and basque waistlines coming back into fashion.
Which naturally lend themselves to a big full skirt, right?
Perfectly. It creates that really dramatic, balanced silhouette.
Makes sense. And they brought up a practical point too, didn't they? About 2 dresses.
Yes. The idea of having that showstopper ball gown for the ceremony. That real wow moment. But then changing into something maybe shorter or sleeker, easier to dance in for the reception. a ball gown makes that contrast really clear.
Good point. It lets you have both experiences. Were there specific ball gowns flying out?
They highlighted a couple in Mikado fabric. That's the structured, slightly shiny one. Stella York 7757. And Essence of Australia D4110.
Okay.
And also the Morley Petal, which they said worked well for boho brides or even brides wanting a touch of color.
So again, variety, even within that dramatic category. Okay, so those are the top three. What about the others? Sheath, mermaid.
Right. So sheath and mermaid were less in demand overall in 2024, at least at this shop. But they definitely still have their fans.
Yeah, but disappeared completely.
Not at all. The mermaid, the one that's super fitted all the way down and then flares dramatically right around the knee or below.
Yeah, the very va-va-voom one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They described it as a sexy choice, especially great for hourglass figures who really want to showcase their shape.
Makes sense.
And Kitty Chen seems to be a go-to for this style there. They mentioned the Alessandra, Mattea, and Solana models, describe them as really intricate, sparkly, definite wow factor dresses.
You can almost picture them. So if making a statement is the goal, mermaid's still a contender.
For sure, it demands attention. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have the sheath silhouette.
Okay, what's the vibe there?
Much more understated. Think clean, straight lines. It follows the body's natural shape without a lot of flair. Creates a very long, lean look.
So more streamlined, maybe minimalist?
Often, yeah. Though you can still have interesting necklines or sleeves, they said it's great for a more tailored gown feel, and perhaps better suited for like modern weddings or smaller, more intimate settings.
Right, less about volume, more about sleekness. Any examples stood out?
The Serene Odette and the Sophia Tolly Lloyd were mentioned. Apparently popular choices for brides wanting that classic or minimalist look, but also really valuing comfort.
Oh, interesting. Sometimes simpler is more comfortable.
It can be. So yeah, even if they aren't the top sellers percentage-wise, these styles clearly fill a specific niche for certain brides.
Definitely caters to different tastes. So, okay, we've got this great overview of the silhouettes. What about actual shocking advice? Did Darianna Bridal offer any key takeaways?
They did touch on the traditional advice about body type.
Mm.
Pear shapes might want to draw attention upwards.
Right, or balancing broader shoulders with volume lower down, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that could be a starting point maybe. But the really big piece of advice they stressed,
What was that?
keep an open mind. Be willing to try on styles you didn't initially think were you.
That's such good advice. It's easy to get fixated on one idea from pictures.
Totally. You just don't know how something will look or feel until it's actually on. They really emphasized not feeling pressured by trends or what's supposedly popular.
Yeah.
The absolute most important thing is finding the dress that makes you feel incredible, confident, radiant, yourself.
That's the goal, right? It's so personal.
It really is. And just practically, they also mentioned having a wide range of sizes, including plus size and petite.
Good to know.
And they suggest maybe calling ahead if you're looking for something very specific, like a short dress or T-length. Seems like they aim to cater to everyone.
It sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so wrapping up this deep dive into Darianna Bridal's 2024 numbers, what's the big picture?
Well, the key takeaway for me is, A-line is still king, but fit and flare is right there, super consistent, and ball gowns made a definite comeback last year.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Right. And while sheath and mermaid might be smaller categories in this data set, they're still very much relevant for specific bridal visions. It's a really valuable snapshot of real-world choices.
Absolutely. It's fascinating to see actual sales data reflect these shifts. So maybe something for listeners to think about.
Yeah.
How do these trends reflect broader cultural moments or even just personal taste versus what's in? And maybe which of these shapes resonates most with you, even if it wasn't the #1 seller?
That's a great thought. There's always more to the story behind the style choices, especially for a day like that.